Now, the lead prosecutor at the Family Secret trial was the legendary Mitch. This guy put away all the Chicago outfit guys. I got a chance to meet his mom in court. She told me that ever since he was a little boy, he always wanted to put away the bad guy. He led Nick Calabrese through most of Nick's testimony. He asked Nick what it takes to become a made man. Nick said, normally you have to be 100% Italian, and you had to have committed at least one murder. Now, Nick Calabrese testified that he received a call from his brother, Frank Calabrese, Friday, 1983. They met with Jimmy LaPetria. They all drove to Angela LaPetria's compound in Bridgeport, where Angela kind of gave him a heads up saying they were going to be proposed and if they had any issues with that. Of course, Nick and Frank said no. That following Sunday, he remembers the Bears were playing Minnesota Vikings, and he named all the men that were made that day. Now, Nick Calabrese testified that Frankie Breeze was very excited the day he was going to be made, something he was really looking forward to. He told Nick that when he was repeating the oath to Joey Aiuppa while the holy card was burning in his hand, that he felt a little nervous and uncomfortable burning the holy card. As we know, Frank Calabrese was a heavyweight in the Chinatown crew. Now here's the late Al Tornabini. Nobody ever really knew of this guy prior to the Family Secrets trial. Nick talked quite a bit about him. He was also there the day these guys were made, and he led each outfit member one by one into the kitchen to sit down face to face with Joey Aiuppa to start the ceremony. Al Tornabini. Now, Nick Calabrese testified that Frank Sr., Jimmy LaPetria all went to visit Angela LaPetria at the compound in Bridgeport Friday before the making ceremony. And Angela kind of gave them a heads up that they were about to be proposed and if they had any issues with that. Obviously, Nick and Frank said no, they did not. And this is another maid member that was present that day in the making. Now, the boss of the Chicago outfit at the time, right under Tony Arcardo, was Joey Doves Aiuppa. He led and conducted the making ceremony. Nick testified that on the table was a knife, a gun, and a candle. Aiuppa pricked Nick's finger, burnt the holy card, and made Nick repeat, "If I give up my brothers, may I burn in hell like this holy card 3 times. Joey Aiuppa led the ceremony. Here's Sam Wings Carlisi. According to Nick's testimony, Wings was present that day, sponsoring several guys from his crew, the Melrose Park crew. He was Joey Aiuppa's driver and right-hand man, and eventually became the boss of the Chicago outfit. And according to Nick, he was one of the heavyweights that was there when the Splachos were killed. Now here's Jimmy the Man Marcello, a defendant in the Family Secrets trial, a made member of the Chicago outfit, right under Sam Carlisi. Nick told Mitch Mars and the ladies and gentlemen of the jury that Jimmy Marcello became made that day as well. And why they were locked up in Milan, Michigan together. They talked about the making ceremony and also a few murders that they committed. Now, we all know this guy, John No-Nos Difronzo, ex-boss of the Chicago outfit. According to Nick's testimony, he was also there that day in 1983 to become a made member of the Chicago outfit. John Difronzo was talked about a lot at the Family Secrets trial, but was never indicted. Some people felt he was working as a double agent for the outfit and the government, but that was never proven. Now, one of my favorite outfit guys, World War II paratrooper Rocky Infelise. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to see Rocky in court. I did follow the Good Ship Lollipop trial, but did not attend it. There was a lot of talk about Rocky at the Family Secrets trial and also at the Bobby Salerno trial. According to Nick, Rocky also became a made member of the Chicago outfit that day in 1983. Now, representing the Chicago Heights crew under Al Pilato was this guy, El Taco. a made member of the Chicago outfit. And according to Nick, he was also made that day in the fall of 1983. El Taco was a heavyweight in the Chicago outfit, and his wife testified against him that he was part of the botched team that buried the Spilotros. Now, according to Nick Calabrese's testimony, Mitch Mars asked him if this guy was present. Tony Zizzo, Sam Carlisi was there to sponsor him. He was a made member of the Chicago outfit and part of the Melrose Park faction, if you will. Tony Zizzo had a meeting a few years ago in Melrose Park, never came back from that meeting, and is still missing today. Now, another made member of the Chicago outfit that, according to Nick, took part in the making ceremony was this guy, John Pudgy Matassa, part of the Melrose Park crew, right underneath Sam Carlisi and Jimmy Marcello. And just a few years ago, Pudgy got indicted along with his wife, pled guilty to an embezzlement charge, and is still an active member today. Now, another guy I never really talked about, but was brought up during the family secrets trial, along with Frank Belmonte. He was also part of the making ceremony, according to Nick. Nick really didn't know Nick Guido that well, or Frank Belmonte, but they were both present that day and became made members of the Chicago outfit in the fall of 1983.